This is a fan project. All material used are properties of their respective owners. I claim no ownership. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hi everyone, Peter Asterisk here, and I'm back with another Toku review. And this video will be my review for Kamen Rider Gotchard. So, Kamen Rider Gotchard just ended last Sunday. Yeah. And Kamen Rider Gotchard is the 38th Kamen Rider in total of the whole Kamen Rider series and the 5th rider in the Reiwa era. So, where to begin with this series? I don't really know how I'm gonna structure this, but I'm just gonna give it a go. Yeah, this series played jump rope with my expectation and my enjoyment. Almost for most part of it. So if you don't get it by now, if you don't haven't vibing with it by now, yeah. I was really pretty disappointed in how Gotchard turned out overall. Like, there are some good moments. Like, there are some good points in it. There are a couple characters that I do enjoy, but in the overall grand scheme of things, this series lacked, for a better word, chemistry. Get it? Yeah, this series lacked chemistry. Lacked cohesion. But before I talk about all the shit that I did not like about this series, I'm gonna tell you what I did like. At least, what did I enjoy from this series? First off, there's the opening, while not a straight up ear candy like Trust Last or Realize, it was okay. I do enjoy the second opening more, like the flow version, that the one that has flow in it. And I am fine with the ending, like insert themes, the one that Beverly did, and then the one that Back On did. Yeah, I'm pretty fine with that. And then moving on to the suit designs, I do like the base suit. Like, Steam Hopper is pretty well designed for the most part. Like, Gotchard's main vertical tier forms are pretty well designed, except one. This is just a personal thing for me, except one, and that is Rainbow, the final form. I'll get to Rainbow in a bit when I talk about the bad stuff I don't like. But yeah, I like the design of Steam Hopper, and I am the level X forms. I'm pretty fine with it. I do like Iron Gotchard's design, and Platinum was fine, but I do think Platinum was better looking, and Iron Gotchard was better looking than Rainbow. And for the suits for the other riders, they're all pretty great, not gonna lie. Like, the secondary for this, our first female secondary, Majade, has a pretty great suit. Although she does lack in forms. She only has, like, what, 3 forms? Like, base, Sun Unicorn, the Chun-Li form, the Cerberus, Luna Cerberus, and the final form, the upgraded base form, the Twilight Majade. I do like Majade base, like, kind of bit, but I do like the Chun-Li form more. And Twilight Majade is a bit iffy on me. And then moving on to the tertiary, Valvarad, Kamen Rider Valvarad. His, like, proto form, like Valvarad form, I was okay with. And then his rider form, I do like his rider form a lot. It has, like, a bit of roots from his Masked Warrior what did they call it? Like his Valvarad form, like pre-Rider form. That he has roots still in that, but more streamlined. And then when he got the final form, now the final form is kind of weird for me. Like Valvarad Kurogane's form is, I like the color, like it's silver. I like that he dual wields now, and both swords are just sitting in his back, but it feels too streamlined for his final form. I like the form, but I don't feel like it's like final form worthy in terms of design. It's a cool form, but I feel like it's a middling form between his Valvarad form, and it feels like that between the Valvarad form and his Rider Valvarad form. Yeah, it feels like that to me. I was hoping like a bit more bombastic, like more, I think, edgewise maybe. I don't know, but yeah, that's how I feel about Valvarad's form. Now, the extra riders, I like their designs. Like, let's start off with Dread, Kamen Rider Dread. Goddamn, I love Dread's design. I like Dread's design very much. His base form, like the dark steamliner form, yeah, I like that form very much. I like how he henshins it to it. I like the driver. And but concerning the forms, aside from that, it's like for me, but like Dread Type 0, Type 1 is the half unicorn one, and then Type 2 is the half Dione one, and then he has a combined one, which is Type 3, which combine Type 1 and 2. Now, Type 1, I actually enjoy Type 2 more than Type 1, because red's my favorite color, and the design, I vibe more with the Dione aesthetics more than the unicorn one. And for Type 3, it just like jumbled all three together, and I feel like Type 3 in particular lacked like cohesion. That's just me, maybe. But yeah. But moving on to the other extra rider, Kamen Rider Legend, the gorgeous motherfucker that is Legend. Yes, that form is gorgeous. Like it's Decade with extra steps, but it feels like its own form. I mean, clearly, like Kaguya is a fan of Tsukasa in the story. But yeah, I do like how it looks. I do like how it transforms to other riders. Like, it keeps the gorgeous aesthetic of it. Like, it has the sash, the golden sash on it. And then his upgraded form, Legendary Legend, which legit looks like a blinged out, like, what? I'm gonna say it. It's a better version. What should have been Decade's 21 version. It's blinged out in the best way possible. It blings out in the best way possible. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So moving on to the characters I do like, but at least enjoy. I like to at least enjoy. But first off, that I like so far, I like till the end that I like was Kajiki. Kajiki was a fun character to watch. He's the comic relief most for the most part of the series, and he's the outsider of the show. He does not join the alchemy group. He's the student. He's the classmate. He's the guy on the outside, and he gets memory wiped like every time. And I was hoping that that will bite them in the ass. Like, the constant memory wipe will bite them in the ass. I mean, it kind of did. Like, he built up a tolerance to it, but I was hoping that he'd snap and turn to a Kamen Rider. I was hoping he was going to be Dread at some point. I mean, the boy needs a W. Like, Kajiki gets shit on a lot, and I'm rooting for him, and I want him to win. Though, in the end, he does win, and he kind of gets the girl. Like, I forgot her name, but yeah, it was on his focus episode. And it got resolved in his second focus episode, like, two-parter. Yeah. He got the girl in the end, which is good for him. And then another character that I didn't at least enjoy was the mentors, Kyoka and Minato. They're fine. They were okay. I think I like Kyoka more as a character. She was like legit Spanner's parent, Spanner's surrogate mom. And later on, Lachesis, surrogate mom, which kind of built a weird dynamic because I want my two kids to get together. I mean, yeah, that's a bit weird, yeah, but they're not my biological kids, so loophole. And Minato was fine, was great, and especially during his like undercover betrayal arc, like during the beginning of arc 2, when he became Dread for a bit. That was great. He was great. Like, it delved through into his trauma. And another character that I did enjoy was obviously Kaguya. Kaguya Ho-Oh Quartz. Correct me if I'm wrong, if the name was wrong, but Kaguya. They just call him Kaguya-sama, or Kaguya. It's a Kamen Rider legend. Yeah, Kaguya is just over the top in the best way possible. He's legit. He feels like he doesn't belong in that show, and I'm all for it. Yeah, because he's from a different world. And he does not belong in a dynamic with the other characters. He takes bath in public. Like, during his first cameo in the show, he takes a bath in public with marbles or bubbles. Yeah, he's weird, but I love him. But I enjoy him. And I do enjoy Atropos quite a bit, and her dynamic with Rene. Her actor did a good job. Like, Atropos's child actor did a good job portraying the character. Like, she's has that uneasiness to it. Like, whenever you see Atropos, she gave a feeling of uneasiness. And the last character that I do quite enjoy, for the most part, like, this is the least one, but I did come to enjoy this character. Believe it or not, is actually Spanner. Yeah, Spanner Kurogane, Kamen Rider Valverad. Previously just Valverad. I mean, yeah, he started off really, like, kind of a dick. I mean, he stayed a dick most of the time towards Hotaro, and I came to like him later on because during the first arc, there was just like this like creepy feeling between him and Rene, but thank God that got resolved. Thank God that got resolved, because that felt weird. His interaction with Rene felt weird until they got clarification on that. I'm just looking out for my junior. I got a job. I'm looking out for my junior. There's no stalkery romance feel to it. Thank God. And yeah, he's the legit polar opposite to Hotaro. He views chemis as tools, and he's very utilitarian, very pragmatic of the group. And honestly, this is what I like to believe. Like, even after he got the final form, even after he got Valverad Kurogane, he never really he respects Hotaro at the end, but he never really became his friend like Rene did. He respects him. He tolerates him. But yeah, he's very hard in his views. He's very stubborn. And his focus episode regarding the Black Flames and his parents, which later on connects with Gigist. The Gigist part I did not like very much, but regarding his parents and Gurion and overcoming his trauma, he's a trauma baby. He's a trauma being. Was great, and his debut as Valvrad was probably one of the episodes I actually enjoy. Like his debut as Valvrad, Kamen Rider Valvrad was great. Now we're gonna talk about the things that I don't like. So yeah, this is not gonna be an episode story play by play, just pointing out the shit I like and I don't like. Everything else. But how I came to this point is actually sad. Like, Gotchard really didn't start out like guns blazing from the get-go, or it didn't build something. It feels very episodic from the beginning. There is a good episode in the first arc though. I did enjoy how fun it is, and that was the Wrestler G episode, the Ant Wrestler debut episode. Yeah, I enjoyed that episode because that episode was just fun. And then the rest of the episode, episode before that, and the rest of the episode from arc 1 was just it was pretty And then Dread shows up. Dread debut was like me being hopeful at the potential of this show. The moment Dread shows up and then took Sabimaru as a host, that transformation and that impact was like, where was this been? Why were they saving this till now? And then UFO X shows up and just made Dread pretty much a joke. Until, well, Minato started becoming Dread and gaining Dread Type 1. Now, to me, personally, the best part of Gotchard, like the most enjoyment I had with Gotchard, was during Dread's debut and UFO X debut a bit, and the Level X part, but it mostly started during the Daybreak, when Gotchard Daybreak shows up. So Gotchard Daybreak is a future version of Gotchard, a future version of Hotaro, from a dystopian future. Yeah, Gotchard Daybreak kind of sets a more serious tone for the series, and a lot of that was pretty enjoyable, and one of the most enjoyable things was Spanner's arc transforming into Kamen Rider, because before that, like, I do understand like the Spanner hate. Like, he's mostly a jobber. He's a jobber until he became a rider. Like, yeah, after Gotchard got an upgrade and Level X, like, he got hit, he got pushed around a lot, and he needed an upgrade, and that shows his frustration and the fact, and reveals that he actually has forbidden black flames, like hell flames, and he wasn't able to control that. And when the revelation shows that his parents were murdered by Gurion, and then it was a mass cover-up and all that, kind of made him snap and turn into amalgam. That was actually interesting. That was legit interesting. Oh yeah, speaking of forms, I haven't talked about Fire Gotchard. Fire Gotchard was actually great. I do enjoy the form. The giant turbine engine on the back. Yeah, that was good. That was cool design. But yeah, but back to the story. Like, this moment, like during Daybreak's debut, like Arc 2, Daybreak's debut, up towards the Platinum Gotchard's debut, was probably the most enjoyment I had with Gotchard, because after that, and Garyon shows up was nice, but even though like his motivation seemed very like what he wants to turn the world gold because he likes gold. The man just likes gold. Feels very but all the things he did to get to that goal were pretty dire. It caused some conflict. It caused some tension during our Act 2, up until Platinum Gotchard's debut. So yeah, and then Garyon got beat, and got taken out of the equation for a bit. So we are back to the three main sisters as the central villain for a bit, and then shows up a replacement villain called Gigist, who was part of the Dark King. Now during this time, like the start of Arc 3, it's the Legend crossover episode, so it's mostly like, to be honest, like most of Act 3 feels like filler. To be honest, most of Act 3 feels like filler, and most of Act 1 feels like filler. And my problem is with Arc 3, for the most part, like I get the switch between like Lachesis to the good guy side. Like I do understand that. Like she's seeing Garyon for truly who he is, and basically, I want to live. I don't want to die and be sacrificed for your plans. She did not drink the Kool-Aid. And Atropos is the loyal daughter, and I get that. And Clotho, the middle child, Lachesis is actually the youngest one. Clotho is the one who's in the middle mostly. She wants her sisters to be one again, but she wants Lachesis to come back. But she does feel like there's something wrong going on her end. But she does get Dread. She does become the primary user of Dread after Garyon went away. After Minato and then Garyon for a bit, but mostly it's Clotho. But she also got a stronger form, actually, the Rebus form. And then after that got upgraded again to Rebus. I forgot what its name is. But yeah, so for the most part, my legit problem is I do get like at the end, like around like Act 4, all the fillers around Act 1 were setups to be returned to Arc 4, that they were trying to make the victims of the week relevant. But other than the Wrestler G episode, I didn't feel anything. Like they lack impact to the overall story, or say lack of. I mean, the story lacked cohesion. Like they were trying to juggle a lot of plot points together from each arc, and trying to interconnect it. Forgot about it, and then later on tried to connect it again. But the problem is, either I forgot or didn't care enough to want to connect with it. Either that's a me thing or just poor writing, I don't know. So yeah, there's a lot of things that, other than that, most of the thing, other than the story parts, the characters. Let's start off with Hotaro, our main writer, Hotaro Ichinose. He's too giddy. He's too giddy for his own good. Now, counterpoint. One might say Gentaro, Kamen Rider 4 was too giddy, was too positive for his own good. But you know what's the difference between Hotaro and Gentaro? Charisma. Like alert, charisma, legit charisma. Hotaro, I don't know if it's his actor or just the way he was written. He lacked that spark that Gentaro has. Like, Gentaro is positive to the max. But you vibe with him. Like, I did not, and 4 was not my top series, but I do enjoy Gentaro as a character. He was fun. He was engaging. Like, he was wild. It's like watching a GTO character. It's like watching Onizuka, but a kid. Trying to make friends. Trying to stay positive. But with Hotaro, he feels like, it feels unearned. Like, everything he says just feels flat to me. And I feel like he doesn't have growth towards series. Like, his goal stays the same. I get it. He wants coexistence between human and chemis. But the series wants you to root for him. Like, he got trials and tribulations, but like, the series wants you to feel like he's taking it in stride, like he's growing through it, but he doesn't come to any like bigger understanding or mature understanding. He just feels like a kid, like a legit high school student. Feels very naive. Aside from Gentaro, which is different from Gentaro, because Gentaro stuck to his guns. Like, he wants to befriend everyone in the school, even the monsters, even the high school principal at the end. And that's just like odd. Gentaro is just odd, but you want to root for him. But Hotaro, on the other hand, just feels off. It's like a bootleg Gentaro. Hotaro is a bootleg Gentaro. And yeah, that's it. But moving on to Kudo Rine, Kamen Rider Majade. Her focus and development was very few and far between. And pre-Majade, she is basically cardboard. She was cardboard. And then, thankfully, when she became Majade, she got a lot more emotive. She legit became more of an emotive person. But the switch at the beginning was a whiplash. Like, this stoic, reserved character, after becoming Majade, suddenly wants to get in on a bit with Sabimaru, trying to make someone laugh. But as series goes on, she does have a thing, like a connection with Atropos from the beginning, and then it gets revealed that Atropos was actually based off of her as a kid. And then her essence comes back to Rine to become Twilight Majade at the end. But yeah, her focus, like her development, is very few and far between, and when she does gets time for development, I was honestly too tired to care, honestly. And then Sabimaru was great. Sabimaru had some great moments, but overall he was just there. He had some great moments with Kajiki, and then during the Dread part. But overall, he was just there. And he has that, like, like filler with his brother. That went, eh. The other alchemist, Ringo or Renge. Yeah, she was just there. She had a focus episode when they went back to her hometown, home village. But again, all of that feels like filler. And over in the grand scheme of things, that feels like filler. And then the rest of the two sisters, Clotho and Lachesis. Clotho just felt like a standard typical villain who has like, yeah, he wants to join the friends group, but I want to stick to my guns. She's very much stuck in between, and she's not that interesting. And then Lachesis was alright, but didn't get enough stuff to do. Most of his stuff became intertwined with Spanner, and her basically falling in love with Spanner. They really went with that. It's not like a will they, won't they. Like for Lachesis, like Lachesis really likes Spanner, and then she dies. Like legit, all the sister dies, except for Atropos to kinda, because she got reabsorbed into Rene. But yeah, Lachesis dies. And her death was one of my problems with this show, because they set that shit up making you want to care for Lachesis' death. They're setting up, I want to be human, I want to be more human, I want to emote more, I want to fall in love with Spanner. And that's great and all, but her death was legit in the penultimate episode. And it got brushed over. It feels like it got brushed over. Like, oh my god, Lachesis' death. Okay, moving on now to the finale. Feels like that. Like, there only a brief moment, like, Spanner cradling her, and then, yeah, kind of caring, like, maybe in a way he does love Lachesis in a way, but okay, moving on. Finale. Yeah. Her death came, like, honestly, if they wanted to kill her, they should have killed her earlier, like when, like maybe pre-duel, before the duel of Hotaro and Spanner. Before Spanner's driver got broken. That would have been like one of the reasons for Spanner doing his shtick, trying to take over the Alchemist Association. Speaking of Alchemist Association, they was just there. Like, aside from the Hisaka cameo from Kamen Rider Blade, they did jack shit. Like, the higher-ups did, like, the organization as a whole, not like Minato Sensei, Kyoka, or other stuff. It's very in the back burner. They did not have that much of an influence in the show. And then we move on to the dads. The dads. Let's start. Who do we start off with? Hold up. Gotta take a drink. God, my throat's dry. So, who are we going to start off with? Okay, let's start with Kudo Fuga, aka Hohenheim. Done bad. I mean, he's legit just Hohenheim. This man went on a... This man only shows up when he really needs it to be. Like, when this man shows up, this man's appearance became a plot point. The only few times he shows up was when situations were dire. He didn't act like a mentor. or like a dad. The only time he acted like a dad was when Rene was about to be sacrificed by Galia, and during the Twilight of Jade episode. That's the most dad he has ever been. I mean, we got flashbacks, but other than that, he rarely shows up. He was out getting milk and cigarettes, probably. Hey guys, I'm here to help. And then, bye guys, I'm late to. I need to go buy cigarettes again. And shows up again just like that, and leaves just like that. Like, god damn. He only shows up when. Not when shit was about to hit the fan. Like legit, he doesn't even shows up when Minato turned to gold in the finale, penultimate. He shows up only when Rene was about to fight Galia and Germaine. That's the hell that. There was no build up to him showing up. God damn it. And then Girion. I legit thought he cared for Atropos. Not for Laquisa and Clotho, though. He clearly doesn't care about them. But he built like a pretty convincing facade that he cared about Atropos. Especially during Twilight of Jade's episode at the beginning. Like, he was scrambling. But turns out he was just Bano. He was just another Bano. He's a shit dad. Like, he never actually thought Atropos as his kid to begin with. Yeah, he's a shit dad. And pretty villain, honestly. Like, trying to world into gold. Seriously. That's your motivation. And then there's Hotaro's dad. Or lack thereof. This man is the legit embodiment of deadbeat. Like, there's theory going around that he might be Minato's friend that got killed in the academy, but till the end, they stuck to their guns and never revealed who, where, or what Hotaro's dad is. Like, from what we know, he's probably alive somewhere. And based on what his mom says about him, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. So probably Hotaro's gonna be deadbeat soon when he grows up. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the movie because movie Hotaro and movie Mom. Oh, okay, Mom was just there. Though she was played by the actress who played Tsukebandega. That's at least a minor plus. But yeah, movie Hotaro and movie Mom was very different. Like, Hotaro was a little dick in that. But moving on to the series. Yeah, but back to Hotaro's dad. He legit did not exist in the show. Like, there was a few times in important moments where it feels like something's building up with his dad. I was scared for the reveal that it was either Fuga or Gurion who was the dad. But thank God it wasn't. Turns out he was just a deadbeat. He never shows up. Like, even his face up till the end was obscured. Like, there was legit times in this episode, like, during, like, what? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, there's a few times. Notable ones were, I think, during Daybreak's episode, Daybreak's debut episode, I think. Every moment that was shown, either Hotaro or his mom was looking at a picture. It's like foreshadowing something and never paid off. And that bugs me a lot. Okay, I'm going to put this one last character on the good side that I enjoy. It's the butler. Legends butler. Because he's basically just Kaji but cooler. Overall, like, I honestly wanted to enjoy Gotchard. I gave it a chance. Like, I never dropped it. I legit never dropped Rider before. The Rider series before. Like, I always watch it till completion. I never had a break watching it. This never the series never tempted me to drop it. The only series that had tempted me to drop a series, like I want to watch it like maybe later on, but it never. Honestly, I didn't. I don't know if it's thank God that I didn't, but yeah, I didn't in the end. Was Ghost. Ghost almost made me drop a series. Like this series, like early on in the series, felt very Monster of the Week, and then get plot heavy, and then Monster of the Week again, and then Monster of the Week, Victim of the Week again. They recycled shit a lot during arc 3 and 4, and they want to make this like a build up to a bigger thing, but at that point I was bored enough to care. I wasn't caring enough, and watching it, none of it makes sense. Like the plot points doesn't connect. Like it doesn't connect cohesively enough. It doesn't connect well enough to make an interesting story. If I want to compare, like if I want to make an analogy or a comparison, this series feels like they want to take the youthfulness and the fun, the lightheartedness, the youthfulness of Kamen Rider Force and try to put it on Kamen Rider Wizard. That's legit what it feels like. And it fails. But at least it was better than Wizard, honestly. Wizard was just flat from beginning to end. This has a high point. Like Arc 2, I do feel like it was the high point of the series. Arc 2, like Daybreak up until Platinum Gotchard's debut, I do feel that that was the part that it peaked. And yeah. So where would I honestly put it on the Reiwa ranking right now on the Reiwa rankings? On my Reiwa rankings, I would still put Kamen Rider Geats at the top because that shit was peak. And then number 2, I would put 01. Number 3, I would actually put Revice. Gotchard, I will put in number 4. And Saber will still be at the bottom of my list. Because fuck that series, even though still, Arc 2 was the point, even though that's not an arc. There was high points in that series, but not that much. The reason I put that, because it was a lot, it was almost Ghost Part 2. It was almost Ghost Part 2. The reason that it wasn't, because the conspiracy arc was actually engaging. And honestly, Gotchard had more tolerable characters than Saber. Really. That's why I put it higher above Saber. I like Kaijiki, I enjoyed Spanner, I like Arc 2, but overall, in the grand scheme of things, this series was not good. This series lacked, as I said, it lacked chemistry. For a series about alchemy and shit, it lacked chemistry. And yeah, Rider needs to step up their game. Rider, I said it like a lot of times, like during first impressions and reviews. Rider really needs to step up their game, because 01 I do enjoy, and I still put it number 2 in the Reiwa scale. It's the weakest of Yuya Takahashi's work. I mean, you got peak like Geats and X-Aid, but it's still good. It's still good. And it was severely fucked over by COVID. Saber's Rider, MIA. He was MIA more than in Ghost. Now, why I put Revice higher than Gotchard is that the plot point in Revice was cohesive. Sure, there were some stupid moments, mostly with Daichi. But all the shit with Iki, like losing his memories, was hinted from the beginning and always popped up on important moments every time he got a new form. I think every time he got a new form, it was constantly reminded that something was going on with Iki. How is he getting stronger? What's the trade-off? And then it got resolved. It got confirmed. He's losing his memory. The plot points followed through. There was a consistent plot development. For Gotchard, there was Monster of the Week, lacking plot, and then plot, and then suddenly Monster of the Week, and we gotta believe that this Monster of the Week was like we're supposed to believe that everything was building up to this. Oh, okay. And last minus point I'm gonna say, Rainbow Gotchard. I did not like the form. I did not like the form's design. It's the blue's too aesthetic wise. The blue's too dark. The blue's too dark. And for a form that says rainbow, they're lacking a color from the rainbow. It lacked green. And then immediately got like it has the biggest nerf drawback, in my opinion, for a Reiwa, for a final Reiwa form. I mean, any form, honestly. Like this legit got the Force. It's kind of the Force cosmic state drawback, because if one of your friends, like member of the Kamen Rider Club, is not your friend anymore, you can't access cosmic form. It's like that, but worse, because it's not actually connected to the plot. Because Gotchard's whole deal was his connection to his friends. I mean, it kind of connects with the plot, but it's very superficial. Like, Rainbow Gotchard's main ability was to summon the Gotchard brothers. Like, he can summon other forms, like previous forms. Like, he can summon Steam Hopper, Apareskebo. He can summon Ant Trooper to fight alongside Rainbow Gotchard. But he loses the ability, not the ability to call said form, the respective Gotchard brother, but the whole ability if you just lose one of the 101 Kemi cards. If for some reason one of them becomes amalgam, or one of them falls into enemy's hands, even if it's not the Gotchard brother you are trying to summon, you lost that ability. And that's bullshit! And even before Gotchard Brothers' debut, he was doing Advanced Alchemy. Where was that? Like his Advanced Alchemy shows sparingly. I mean, I get it. It's CGI, but damn. It quickly became a very form after its debut. And also, even though, yeah, I get it, their final form represents their growth, but Twilight Majade and Valvaras Kurogane's debut came in too late. They came in too late. Like, legit, immediately after we got Valvaras Kurogane. Finale! We have no time to, like, legit be acclimated with the form yet. And this form was like, okay, some people might say, but what about Ultimate Kuga? He shows up just only in the finale, like penultimate, 49. And a bit in a vision on episode 35 or 36. The thing is, Valvaras Kurogane isn't Ultimate Kuga. Valvaras Kurogane's form wasn't foreshadowed and was not part of the was not a heavily it's not ingrained in the plot. Like, yeah, it's Spanner mastering his dark flames finally, but it's not like heavily ingrained. Like, if you transform into Ultimate while your mindset is off the fritz, you might go berserk and kill everyone. It's not that. You might become a second Dagova. No. It's not apples to apples. Again, I'm gonna put Keats 01, Revise, Gotchard, and Saber. And then at the bottom of the list, or if the Ray was, Saber. Gav is coming next, like, on Sunday, September 1st. From what I'm seeing and from the press conference, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And with Junko Kimura, Lupats, Zenkai, and Zhuoger's main writer, heading this series, like writing a series, I'm more at ease, but still, anything can happen. I am cautious but optimistic that this will, like, Gav will succeed, break the slump, like, legit. Also, the thing is, because why am I hating on this so much? Maybe it's just me thing. Geets set the bar real high for me. Geets set the bar honestly too high. And Gotchard can't even jump half the height. It had some fun moments, but in an overall scheme of things, it's a very meh to disappoint show. Like I said it again, I'll say it again. This feels like they're trying to mix Force with Wizard, and it didn't work. It's like a chemistry project gone wrong. So yeah, I'm hoping Gav does good. From what I'm seeing so far, I am liking what they're gonna do with Gav. And honestly, Kamen Rider needs to step up their game. Again, they need to step up their game because Super Sentai has been on a streak. If you're counting Kira Major, starting from the Rayo era, if you're counting Kira Major as good, for me, Kira Major was okay. It's not that good, but it was great. It was okay. It's not bad. After Kira Major, we have seen bangers. Zenkai after bangers. Don Brothers after bangers. King Oger. And currently, Boom Boonger's been fun. And we're on a third lap. On the finale of this Gotchard finale, Boom Boonger's starting its third lap, like third arc. And it's hinting on a major Genba arc. A major Genba arc. Character I really like. And it's been fun so far. Boom Boonger's is just fun currently. Rider really needs to step up. They really need to be more engaging, more story focused, more character heavy. And with Junko Kimura, I do feel like they're gonna do those things. I'm hoping they'll do those things. So yeah, that's how I feel, and that's my review on Kamen Rider Gotchard, a series that lacked cohesion and chemistry. If I was a chemistry teacher, which I'm not, but if I am, I would give Gotchard a D. It's not an E, it's not an F, it's a D. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please stay tuned for the next video. Follow me on all things. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Every little thing helps. Stay tuned. See you next time. I'm Pure Asterisk, and I'm signing off. Bye.